Let me explain everything in more detail and as simply as possible, step by step. Who was Vikramaditya Sigu? Vikramaditya II was a king of the Chalukya dynasty, which ruled parts of South India. He became the king after his father passed away. He ruled from 733 AD to 746 to 747 AD, which means he was king for about 13 to 14 years. What was the situation when he became king? The Pallavas, another powerful kingdom in South India, were the Chalukyas' main rivals, or enemies. There had been many battles between the Chalukyas and the Pallavas over the years. When Vikramaditya II became king, he decided to continue fighting the Pallavas to defeat them completely. What did Vikramaditya II do? 1. Surprise attack on the Pallavas. Vikramaditya II planned a sudden attack on the Pallavas. He didn't give them time to prepare for the war, which helped him gain an advantage. 2. He defeated the Pallava king. The Pallava king at that time was Nandivarman Sikh. Vikramaditya II defeated Nandivarman Sikh and forced him to flee, run away. This was a big victory for Vikramaditya II. 3. He entered the Pallava capital, Kanchi. After defeating the Pallavas, Vikramaditya II entered their capital city, Kanchipuram. Kanchi was an important city with a rich culture, many temples, and lots of wealth. What did he do in Kanchi? He didn't destroy Kanchi. Even though he had defeated the Pallavas, he didn't harm the city or its people. Instead, he donated a lot of wealth to the temples in Kanchi. This shows that he respected religion and culture, even when he was at war. What happened after the Pallava War? 1. Victories over other kingdoms. After defeating the Pallavas, Vikramaditya II didn't stop. He went on to defeat other important kingdoms in South India, including the Cholas, the Pandyas, the Keralas, the Calabras. 2. Victory Pillar. To celebrate his victories, Vikramaditya II planted a pillar of victory on the southern coast of India. This pillar was like a trophy to show that he had conquered the southern regions all the way to the Indian Ocean. Why is Vikramaditya II important? 1. Great military leader. He was a skilled king who won many battles. He defeated powerful enemies like the Pallavas of the South Indian kingdoms. 2. Respected culture and religion. Instead of destroying the city of Kanchi, he respected its temples and gave them donations. This made him a noble and respected ruler. 3. Unified South India. By defeating many South Indian kingdoms, he brought them under his control. This helped in uniting different regions. Key terms simplified. 1. Pallavas, a powerful kingdom in South India. They ruled Kanchipuram, an important city. 2. Chalukyas, Vikramaditya II's kingdom. They were rivals of the Pallavas. 3. Victory Pillar, a stone structure that shows a king's success. It's like putting up a trophy to celebrate a win. Example to understand this. Imagine a football match between two teams. Team A, Chalukyas, led by Vikramaditya II. Team B, Pallavas, led by Nandivarman II. Team A wins the game and enters Team B's stadium, Kanchi. Instead of damaging the stadium, Team A donates money to improve it. Team A then goes on to defeat other teams, Cholas, Pandyas, etc., and places a big trophy on the southern coast. This is similar to what Vikramaditya II did. What can we learn from Vikramaditya II? Respect even in victory. Even after defeating enemies, he showed respect for their culture and religion. This teaches us to be kind and respectful even when we are successful. Strong leadership. He was brave and planned his wars carefully, leading to many victories. Quick recap. 1. Vikramaditya II became king after his father. 2. He defeated the Pallavas and their king, Nandivarman Sikh. 3. He entered Kanchi but didn't destroy it. Instead, he donated to its temples. 4. He defeated other South Indian kingdoms like the Cholas and Pandyas. 5. He planted a victory pillar on the southern coast to celebrate his success. Let me know if you want to know more. Let's explain this more in detail, step by step, in the simplest way possible, like telling a story. Who was Vikramaditya II? Vikramaditya II was a king of Dynasty, the Chalukya dynasty in South India. He ruled from 733 to 647 AD. He is remembered for being a strong and successful leader who defended his kingdom. What happened during his rule? The most important event of his time was when the Arabs tried to invade South India. Let's break it down. Who were the Arabs? The Arabs were powerful warriors and traders from the Middle East. They had already taken control of Sindh in 712 AD, which is in modern-day Pakistan. After capturing Sindh, they started looking to conquer more parts of India. What did the Arabs do? 1. Captured northern Gujarat. The Arabs attacked northern Gujarat, a region in western India. After conquering this area, they planned to move further south. 2. Entered Lata, Chalukya territory. The Arabs entered Lata, which was the northernmost part of the Chalukya kingdom. Their goal was to invade and conquer all of South India, including the Chalukya Empire. How did Vikramaditya II respond? 1. The viceroy took action. Viceroy means a governor who manages a part of the kingdom. Vikramaditya II's viceroy, regional governor, led the Chalukya army to fight the Arabs. 2. Defeat of the Arab. The Chalukya army fought bravely and defeated the Arabs in Lata. The Arabs were forced to retreat, run away back to the north. 3. South India was saved. Because of this victory, the Arabs could not move further into South India. This stopped them from taking over the Chalukya kingdom or other southern kingdoms. Why was this a big deal? The Arabs were very strong and had already captured parts of northern India. If the Chalukyas had lost, the Arabs could have controlled all of South India. This victory protected not just the Chalukyas, but also other kingdoms in the south. What happened to the Chalukyas after this victory? 1. New king, Kirtivarman II. After Vikramaditya II, his successor was Kirtivarman VI. Kirtivarman ruled from around 746 to 753 AD. 2. Rise of the Rashtrakutas. The Chalukyas became weak under Kirtivarman II. A new powerful dynasty called the Rashtrakutas rose to power. The Rashtrakutas defeated Kirtivarman II and took control of the Chalukya Empire around 753 AD. 3. End of Chalukya supremacy. After their defeat, the Chalukya dynasty's rule over South India came to an end. Kirtivarman II managed to rule over some small parts of the kingdom for a few more years, but the Chalukyas were no longer a major power. Simpler example to understand. Think of the Chalukyas as the defenders of their home. The Arabs are like a group of invaders who are trying to take over the home. The invaders first capture a nearby area, northern Gujarat, and then try to attack the home directly, Lata. But the defenders, Chalukyas, fight back and push the invaders away, saving their home. This makes the defenders heroes. However, later, another stronger group, Rashtrakutas, takes over the home, ending the defenders' rule. Key points to remember. 1. Arabs invaded. They captured parts of northern India and tried to invade South India. 2. Chalukyas defeated them. Vikramaditya II's army defeated the Arabs in Lata and saved South India. 3. End of Chalukya dynasty. After Vikramaditya II, the Chalukyas were defeated by the Rashtrakutas around 753 AD. This was one of the last great achievements of the Chalukya dynasty. Let me know if you'd like more examples or details. The viceroy who led the Chalukya forces to victory against the Arab invaders in the Lata region was Avanijanashraya Pulakeshin. He served as the governor of Navsari under King Vikramaditya II. In 739 AD, he decisively defeated the Arab forces, preventing their further advance into South India. This significant victory is documented in a grant from Navsari, highlighting Avanijanashraya Pulakeshin's crucial role in safeguarding the region. Site search the skirt. Alright, Let's take it step by step and break it down further. I will explain it in even simpler words and give more details so everything becomes crystal clear. Who were the Rashtrakutas? Rashtrakutas were people who lived in the southern part of India called the Deccan. They were not foreigners, they belonged to the land. Think of them like this. If someone grows up in a village, becomes very smart, and later becomes the leader of the whole village, that's what happened with the Rashtrakutas. What does Rashtrakuta mean? The word Rashtrakuta means head of a Rashtra. A Rashtra is an area or province, like a district or a region in today's terms. So a Rashtrakuta was a chief or leader of that area. Example. Imagine a school has a principal who is in charge of everything. The Rashtrakutas were like that principal for their region. How did the Rashtrakutas start? The Rashtrakutas were not kings in the beginning. They worked for bigger kings. They were like small rulers managing small areas under a big empire. Example, think of a shopkeeper working for a big store. Over time, the shopkeeper becomes so good at managing things that they open their own big shop. That's what happened with the Rashtrakutas. In the 5th century AD, there were many Rashtrakuta families. These families ruled small areas. 2 families ruled near the Satara region, a place in Maharashtra. Another family ruled a small area in Berar, with a capital called Achalapura, modern Elichpur in Maharashtra. At this point, they were not famous or powerful. They were small rulers under the Chalukyas, the big kings at that time. When did the Rashtrakutas become powerful? Indra, one of the Rashtrakutas, became important because he married a princess from the powerful Chalukya family. Why was this important? Marrying into the Chalukya family gave him status and power. He was no longer just a small ruler. 2. Indra's son, Dantidurga, became a very strong and smart ruler. He didn't want to work for the Chalukyas anymore, so he fought wars, defeated the Chalukyas, and started his own kingdom. This happened around 710 AD. Example. Imagine a worker becomes so talented that they no longer want to work under their boss. Instead, they start their own company and make it bigger than the boss's company. That's what Dantidurga did. Why were they called Rashtrakutas? Even though they became kings, the name Rashtrakuta stuck with them because they originally started as heads of provinces, Rashtra leaders. Even after becoming kings, they were still called Rashtrakutas because it was their identity. How do they compare to others in history? The Rashtrakutas were similar to the Peshwas of the Maratha Empire. Peshwas were originally officials working under kings, but later became the real rulers. The Rashtrakutas followed a similar path. They started as officials under the Chalukyas and later became powerful kings. Timeline recap. 1. 5th century AD. Rashtrakuta families ruled small areas in the Deccan like Satara and Berar. 2. 7th century AD. One family in Berar started gaining importance under the Chalukyas. 3. Around 710 AD. Dantidurga, the son of Indra, defeated the Chalukyas and started the Rashtrakuta kingdom. Summary. The Rashtrakutas were local people in the Deccan. The word Rashtrakuta means leader of a province. They started as small rulers under the Chalukyas. Indra became important by marrying a Chalukya princess. Dantidurga, his son, defeated the Chalukyas and became a powerful king around 710 AD. Let me know if you want more examples or additional details. Alright, let's explain Dantidurga's life and achievements in even simpler words with more details. I'll break it down further step by step so everything is crystal clear. Who was Dantidurga? Dantidurga was a brave and clever ruler who made the Rashtrakuta family very powerful. He was not born as a king. He started as a feudatory, a small ruler working under a big king. Later, he became so strong that he created the Rashtrakuta Empire, one of India's most famous kingdoms. Example, imagine someone working for a big boss. Over time, they become skilled and powerful enough to start their own company and make it bigger than the boss's. That's what Dantidurga did. How did Dantidurga start his career? 1. Feudatory under Chalukyas. Dantidurga worked for the Chalukya king named Vikramaditya II. He helped the Chalukyas in two important wars, one against the Pallavas of Kanchi, a strong kingdom in the south, another against Arab invaders attacking from the north. Why is this important? By fighting in these wars, Dantidurga gained experience, fame and respect. This was the starting point of his career as a warrior. What happened after Vikramaditya II died? When Vikramaditya II, the Chalukya king, died, Dantidurga decided he didn't want to be a small ruler anymore. He wanted to create his own empire, so he started fighting wars to conquer new lands. What lands did Dantidurga conquer? Dantidurga fought many battles and took control of 1. Gurjara kingdom of Nandipuri. This was near modern-day Broach in Gujarat. 2. Gurjara Pratihara kingdom of Malwa. This was a kingdom in central India. 3. Eastern Madhya Pradesh, a region in central India important for its location. Example: imagine a small shopkeeper slowly expanding his business into other cities one by one until he controls a large area. That's how Dantidurga expanded his power. How did the Chalukyas react? At first, Dantidurga didn't attack the Chalukyas, his old bosses, but the Chalukya king, Kirtivarman II, started feeling nervous. Why? Because Dantidurga was becoming too powerful. Kirtivarman II decided to stop him before he became a threat. The battle between Dantidurga and Kirtivarman II. A big battle took place between Dantidurga and Kirtivarman. Dantidurga won the battle. By 753 AD, Dantidurga had defeated the Chalukyas and become the master of a large part of the Deccan. Example: imagine a junior employee challenges their boss in a competition and wins. Now the junior becomes the new leader of the company. That's exactly what Dantidurga did. He defeated his boss and became the king. Why is Dantidurga important? 1. Founder of Rashtrakuta Empire. Dantidurga wasn't just a king. He created the Rashtrakuta Empire, one of the most powerful empires in India's history. 2. Skilled leader and warrior. He carefully avoided attacking the Chalukyas at first to avoid trouble. He only fought them when he was strong enough to win. 3. Expanded his kingdom. Dantidurga conquered several important regions like Gujarat, Malwa, and Madhya Pradesh. Timeline of Dantidurga's achievements. 1. Early career, worked under Chalukya king Vikramaditya II, gained experience by fighting wars against the Pallavas and Arabs. 2. After Vikramaditya II's death, started conquering new regions like Nandipuri and Malwa, avoided Chalukyas at first. 3. Battle with Kirtivarman II, 753 AD. Fought and defeated the Chalukyas. Became the ruler of a large part of the Deccan. Summary. Dantidurga started as a small ruler under the Chalukyas. He gained experience by fighting in wars for the Chalukyas. After the Chalukya king died, Dantidurga started expanding his kingdom. He conquered Gujarat, Malwa, and Madhya Pradesh. In 753 AD, he defeated the Chalukya king Kirtivarman II and became the master of the Deccan. He created the Rashtrakuta Empire, which became one of India's greatest. Let me know if you want me to simplify anything further. Sure! Let's go step by step to explain this in the simplest way possible, breaking down each point so it's easy to understand. What happened after Dantidurga's death? 1. Dantidurga died without a son. Dantidurga, the great king of the Rashtrakutas, passed away. He did not have a son to take over the throne. Example: imagine a king dies and there's no prince to take his place, so the responsibility goes to another family member. 2. His uncle Krishna I became king. Krishna, who was Dantidurga's uncle, became the next ruler around 758 AD. Krishna I's achievements. Krishna was a powerful and clever king. He achieved many great things. 1. Defeated the Chalukyas again. Remember the Chalukyas? They were the old rulers of the Deccan India before the Rashtrakutas. When Dantidurga defeated the Chalukyas earlier, their king Kirtivarman II had run away to the south. Now, Kirtivarman II tried to come back and regain power. Krishna I defeated him again in a major battle in 760 AD. This ended the Chalukya rule for good. Example: Imagine a defeated player tries to make a comeback, but the new champion beats him again. That's what Krishna I did to the Chalukyas. 2. Conquered more kingdoms. Krishna I didn't stop with the Chalukyas. He also fought and defeated the Gangas of Mysore, a kingdom in southern India, the eastern Chalukyas of Vengi, another branch of the Chalukyas in eastern India. After defeating the eastern Chalukyas, they became allies, friends, of the Rashtrakutas. By this time, Krishna I controlled almost the entire Chalukya empire. 3. Built the Kailasa temple. Krishna I is most famous for building the Kailasa temple at Ellora. This temple is a rock-cut temple, meaning it was carved from a single huge rock. It is one of the greatest wonders of Indian architecture. Why is this important? Krishna I showed that he was not just a warrior, but also someone who loved art and culture. Even today, people visit the Kailasa temple to admire its beauty. Example, think of a king who builds something so magnificent that it lasts for centuries, like the Taj Mahal. Krishna I did the same with the Kailasa temple. What happened after Krishna I died? 1. Krishna I died around 773 AD. After ruling successfully, Krishna I passed away. 2. His son Govinda II became king. Krishna I's son, Govinda II, became the new king. Govinda II, a weak ruler. Govinda II was not a strong king. He loved pleasures and spent his time enjoying life instead of focusing on ruling. Example, imagine someone inherits a great business but spends all the money on fun instead of working hard. That's what Govinda II did. Dhruva takes over. 1. Who was Dhruva? Dhruva was Govinda II's younger brother. He realized that Govinda II was not doing a good job as king. 2. How did Dhruva become king? Govinda II tried to fight back with the help of friendly chiefs, but Dhruva defeated him in a big battle. Dhruva officially became the king and started ruling. Example, imagine the younger sibling takes over when the older sibling is irresponsible. That's what Dhruva did. Dhruva's rule, a new beginning. 1. A new era for the Rashtrakutas. When Dhruva became king, he didn't just focus on the southern regions of India. He wanted to expand the Rashtrakuta Empire into northern India, which had rich and fertile lands. 2. Became a part of India's history. The Rashtrakutas were no longer just a regional power in the south. Under Dhruva, they became an important part of India's overall history. Why are these events important? 1. Krishna I's achievements defeated the Chalukyas, ending their rule forever, conquered new territories and expanded the Rashtrakuta Empire, built the Kailasa temple, a lasting symbol of art and culture. 2. Dhruva's ambition. Dhruva started a new chapter for the Rashtrakutas by looking beyond the south and expanding into northern India. His actions made the Rashtrakutas one of the most powerful empires in India. Summary. Dantadurga died without a son and Krishna Us became king. Krishna I was a great warrior and builder. He defeated the Chalukyas and other kingdoms, built the magnificent Kailasa temple. Krishna I's son, Govinda II, was a weak ruler. Dhruva, Govinda II's brother, took over and started a new era for the Rashtrakutas by expanding their empire into northern India. Let me know if you want to explore any part of this further. Let's dive even deeper into this and explain every small detail in a simple way, step by step. What was happening in India during the 8th century? 1. 3 powerful kingdoms. Around 780 AD, there were 3 big and powerful kingdoms in India. These kingdoms were the Rashtrakutas, ruled most of South India from the Deccan Plateau. The Palas ruled Bengal and eastern India. The Gujara Pratiharas ruled western and central India. Think of India like a big map. The Rashtrakutas controlled the south, the Palas controlled the east, the Gujara Pratiharas controlled the west and central parts. 2. What did each kingdom want? All 3 kingdoms wanted to control northern India, especially the rich Gangetic plains. This area was very important because it was rich in resources, land and wealth, a major trade route, politically powerful. Example, imagine 3 teams playing tug of war, pulling a rope from 3 different directions. The goal was to pull the entire rope northern India to their side. Who were the Gurjara Pratiharas? 1. A strong kingdom in the west. The Gurjara Pratiharas ruled from Rajputana, modern-day Rajasthan, and central India. They were a powerful dynasty that wanted to expand their kingdom. 2. Led by King Vatsaraja. Their king at the time was Vatsaraja. He ruled during 783 AD and was an ambitious leader. 3. What was Vatsaraja doing? Vatsaraja wanted to make his kingdom even bigger. He started moving eastward towards Bengal, which was ruled by the Palas. Who were the Palas? 1. A powerful kingdom in the east. The Palas ruled Bengal and parts of Bihar. They had a strong monarchy, a government where one king ruled the entire kingdom. 2. What were the Palas doing? The Palas were also ambitious. They started moving westward into central India to expand their territory. What happened when they met? 1. Clash was inevitable. The Gurjara Pratiharas moving east and the Palas moving west eventually met in the middle. Both wanted to control the same areas, which led to a clash. 2. The encounter between Vatsaraja and the Pala king. The two kings fought a battle to decide who would dominate the region. The king of Golda, another name for the Pala ruler, faced Vatsaraja in this encounter. However, historians do not know exactly when or where this battle took place. Why is this important? 1. Beginning of the tripartite struggle. This clash between the Gurjara Pratiharas and the Palas was the start of a long struggle. Soon, the Rashtrakutas from the south joined the fight. This marked the tripartite struggle, where 3 kingdoms fought to dominate northern India. 2. Fight for supremacy. All 3 kingdoms wanted to control the rich and powerful Gangetic plains, prove that they were the most powerful rulers in India. What can we learn? The tripartite struggle shows us how important northern India was in ancient times. It was a region full of wealth and political power, which is why these 3 kingdoms wanted to control it. This struggle shaped the history of India during the 8th and 9th centuries. Summary of events. 1. 3 kingdoms, the Rashtrakutas, Palas and Gurjara Pratiharas, were the most powerful kingdoms in India around 780 AD. 2. Vatsaraja Gurjara Pratiharas moved east to expand his kingdom. 3. The Palas moved west to expand theirs. 4. They clashed, marking the start of the tripartite struggle. 5. The Rashtrakutas later joined the fight, and the struggle continued for a long time. Let me know if you want more details or examples. Let's explain this step by step in an easy and detailed way. I'll make it simple, like a story for someone with no prior knowledge. The background. Why were the 3 main kingdoms? Around the 8th century AD, India had 3 powerful kingdoms. Rashtrakutas from the Deccan, central southern India. Gurjara Pratiharas from the west, modern Rajasthan and central India. Palas from the east, modern Bengal and Bihar. 2. What were they fighting for? The Gangetic plains, modern Uttar Pradesh, and nearby regions were rich and important. Whoever controlled this area would become the most powerful king in India. All 3 kingdoms wanted control over this region. The players in the story. 1. Vatsaraj Gurjara Pratiharas. He was the king of the Gurjara Pratiharas. His kingdom was in Rajasthan and central India. He wanted to expand his kingdom eastward towards Bengal. 2. Dharma Palas. He was the king of the Pala dynasty. His kingdom was in Bengal and Bihar. He expanded his kingdom westward towards Uttar Pradesh. 3. Dhruva Rashtrakutas. He was the king of the Rashtrakutas. His kingdom was in the Deccan, central southern India. He wanted to control northern India and challenge the other 2 kingdoms. The story of the battles. 1. Vatsa vs. Dharmapala. What happened? Vatsaraja Gurjara Pratiharas expanded his kingdom towards Bengal. He fought a battle with Dharmapala Palas, who was expanding westward. The battle likely happened in the Ganga Yamuna Doab, modern Uttar Pradesh. Who won? Vatsaraj defeated Dharmapala. This started a long rivalry between the Gurjara Pratiharas and the Palas. Entry of Dhruv Rashtrakutas. While Vatsaraj and Dharmapala were busy fighting, Dhruva entered the scene from the south. He crossed the Vindhya Mountains, which separate northern and southern India. 3. Dhruva versus Vatsaraja. What happened? Dhruva attacked Vatsaraja, who had recently defeated Dharmapala. Dhruva's army was very strong and he defeated Vatsaraja. Vatsaraja fled to the desert of Rajputana, modern Rajasthan. 4. Dhruva versus Dharmapala. After defeating Vatsaraj, Dhruva marched eastward and attacked Dharmapala. Dhruva defeated Dharmapala as well. Where did this happen? This battle also took place in the Ganga-Yamuna Delta. The outcome: 1. Dhruva's success. Dhruva, the Rashtrakuta king, showed that his kingdom was not just strong in the south, but could also dominate northern India. 2. Three-way struggle. This series of battles marked the beginning of the Tripartite Struggle, a fight for power between the three kingdoms, Rashtrakutas, Gujara Pratiharas, and Palas. Examples to simplify. 1. Think of it like a game of chess. There are 3 players on the board. Player 1, Vatsaraj, attacks player 2, Dharmapala, and wins. Player 3, Dhruva, enters the game, defeats player 1 and then player 2. 2. A rich treasure. Imagine there is a rich treasure at the Gangetic Plains. 3 kings want it. 2 of them, Vatsaraja and Dharmapala, fight and 1 wins. Then the 3rd king, Dhruva, comes in and defeats both of them to take control. Key points to remember. 1. 3 kingdoms, Rashtrakutas, south, Gujara Pratiharas, west, and Palas, east. 2. The battles happened in the Ganga-Yamuna Delta, modern Uttar Pradesh. 3. Dhruva, Rashtrakutas, defeated both Vatsaraj and Dharmapala, showing his strength in northern India. 4. This marked the beginning of the tripartite struggle for control over northern India. Let me know if you want more details or examples. Let's explain the tripartite struggle in more detail and as simply as possible. I'll break it down line by line and make everything super clear, like teaching from scratch. What is the tripartite struggle? 1. What does tripartite mean? Tri means the 3. Partite means sides or groups. So the tripartite struggle was a fight between 3 kingdoms. 2. Who were the 3 kingdoms? Palas. They ruled in Bengal and Bihar, eastern India. Gujara Pratiharas. They ruled in Rajasthan and central India, western India. Rashtrakuta. They ruled in the Deccan, southern India. 3. What were they fighting for? The city of Kannauj in northern India. Kannauj was very rich and important because it controlled trade routes. Merchants passed through Kannauj. Fertile lands, good for farming. Taxes. Whoever ruled Kannauj could collect taxes from the people. Controlling Kannauj meant power, money, and prestige. What happened during the struggle? Phase 1, Vatsaraja versus Dharmapala. Vatsaraj Gujara Pratiharas. He ruled in western India and wanted to expand his kingdom to the east. He moved towards Bengal, where Dharmapala, Pala king, was ruling. 2, Dharmapala, Pala king. He wanted to stop Vatsaraja from expanding into his territory. 3, result of this phase: Vatsaraja defeated Dharmapala and gained control over some parts of northern India. Phase 2, Dhruva, Rashtrakuta king, enters the scene. 1. Who was Dhruva? Dhruva was the king of the Rashtrakutas in the Deccan, southern India. 2. What did Dhruva do? While Vatsaraja and Dharmapala were busy fighting, Dhruva decided to attack both of them. He crossed the Vindhya Mountains, which separate the Deccan from northern India. 3. What was the result? Dhruva defeated Vatsaraj, Gujara Pratiharas. Then he defeated Dharmapala, Palas. Dhruva returned to the south after proving his strength. Phase 3, Govinda III continues Rashtrakuta dominance. 1. Who? Govinda III was the son of Dhruva and became the Rashtrakuta king after him. 2. What did Govinda III do? Govinda III launched another campaign in northern India. He defeated Nagabhata II, a Gujara Pratihara king. He also defeated Dharmapala, Pala king again. The 3. Result of this phase: Govinda III showed that the Rashtrakutas were still very powerful. Later phases: a long struggle. 1. The three kingdoms kept fighting over Kannauj for about 100 years. 2. Sometimes one kingdom controlled Kannauj and sometimes another. 3. No one could hold Kannauj permanently. Key details about the kings. Here is a list of the important kings involved in the struggle. Kingdom. Important kings. Details in Apala. Dharmapala, defeated by Vatsaraja and later by Dhruva and Govinda III. Devapala, successor of Dharmapala, continued the struggle. Narayanapala fought to regain power but struggled to hold Kannauj. Gurjara Pratiharas, Vatsaraj defeated Dharmapala but later lost to Dhruva. Nagabhata Sek, defeated by Govinda III but later rebuilt strength. Bhoja, one of the strongest Pratihara kings, ruled after the struggle. Rashtrakutas, Dhruva, defeated both Vatsaraja and Dharmapala. Govinda III strengthened Rashtrakuta dominance in the north. Amoghavasha focused on Deccan but kept an eye on northern India. Why is the tripartite struggle important? 1. It was one of the most important political events in ancient India. 2. It showed how powerful kingdoms fought for control over the rich and strategic city of Kannauj. 3. It weakened all three kingdoms in the long run because they wasted resources and energy in the struggle. Example to understand the struggle. 1. Imagine 3 kids fighting over a golden trophy. Each kid is strong in their own way. Sometimes one kid holds the trophy, but the others fight and take it away. This goes on for a long time, and all the kids get tired. In the end, no one gets to keep the trophy for very long. 2. Kannauj was the golden trophy, and the 3 kingdoms, Palas, Gurjara Pratiharas, and Rashtrakutas, were the kids. Final takeaways. 1. The tripartite struggle was a 3-way fight for the city of Kannauj. It involved 3 kingdoms, Palas, Gurjara Pratiharas, and Rashtrakutas. 3. The struggle lasted for about 100 years, but no kingdom could permanently control Kannauj. 4. This struggle is an important chapter in India's history because it shaped the politics of northern India during that time. Let me know if you'd like even more details. Let's explain this in the most detailed and simplest that it becomes crystal clear. Who were involved in this encounter? 3 kings and their kingdoms, Dhruva, Rashtrakutas from the south, Deccan, Vatsaraja Pratiharas from the west and central India, Dharmapala Palas from the east, Bengal and Bihar. 2. What were they fighting for? They were fighting over the city of Kannauj. Kannauj was rich, powerful and located in northern India. Whoever controlled Kannauj became the most powerful king. What happened in this encounter? 1. Dhruva's victory. Dhruva, the Rashtrakuta king, attacked both Vatsaraja and Dharmapala. He defeated both kings and became very powerful. This was a big win for the Rashtrakutas. 2. Why was Dhruva's victory short-lived? Dhruva died before 793 AD, soon after his victory. When a strong king like Dhruva dies, the kingdom often becomes weak because there may be confusion about who will rule next. Enemies see this as a chance to attack. What happened after Dhruva's death? 1. Confusion in the Rashtrakuta kingdom. After Dhruva's death, 12 southern kings formed an alliance to fight against his son, Govinda III. Even some of Dhruva's own allies, like the Ganga chief, turned against Govinda III. 2. Who was Govinda III? Govinda III was Dhruva's son and became the next king of the Rashtrakutas. He had to fight many battles in the south to secure his kingdom. His hands were full in the south, which means he was too busy to focus on northern India. What did Govinda III do about northern India? 1. Indraraja in the north. Govinda III left the northern territories under the control of his younger brother Indraraj. This means Indraraj was managing the Rashtrakuta kingdom in the north, while Govinda III was busy in the south. 2. Opportunity for northern kings. Since Govinda III was occupied in the south and Indraraj was not as powerful, the northern kings, like the Gurjara Pratiharas and Palas, saw this as a golden chance. They started regaining their strength and territories. Why was this important? 1. Short-lived victory. Although Dhruva won a big battle, his death made the Rashtrakutas temporarily weak in the north. This gave the Palas and Gurjara Pratiharas time to recover and prepare for more battles. 2. Lesson in power struggles. A kingdom is only strong when its ruler is strong and actively managing it. When a king dies or is busy elsewhere, enemies take advantage. Example to understand this easily. 1. Imagine 3 kids fighting over a toy. Kid 1, Dhruva, is the strongest and defeats the other 2. But soon after, Kid 1 moves away or gets busy with other problems, like bullies at school. The other 2 kids, Vatsaraj and Dharmapala, see that Kid 1 is not paying attention and try to take the toy back. 2. This is what happened during the Tripartite Struggle. Dhruva won the initial battle but could not keep the victory because of his death and problems in the south. Final takeaways. 1. The encounter. Dhruva defeated both Vatsaraja and Dharmapala. 2. After Dhruva's death, the Rashtrakutas faced many problems in the south. Govinda III, Dhruva's son, was busy solving these problems. The Palas and Gurjara Pratiharas used this time to recover in the north. 3. Why it matters. It shows how quickly power can shift when a strong ruler dies. It was an important phase in the tripartite struggle for Kannauj. Let me know if you need this simplified further. Alright, let's dive even deeper and break it down further to make it super simple. Who was Dharmapala? 1. Dharmapala was a king of the Pala Empire, which ruled Bengal, Bihar and nearby areas in eastern India. 2. He wanted to be the most powerful king in northern India. His goal was to make other kings accept him as their overlord, big boss. What happened first? 1. Earlier, Dharmapala lost a battle against the Rashtrakuta king, Dhruva. 2. But after Dhruva got busy in the south, Dharmapala saw a chance to grow his power in the north. How did Dharmapala start gaining power? 1. He defeated Indrayudha, the king of Panchala, a region in present-day Uttar Pradesh. 2. After defeating Indrayudha, Dharmapala did something smart. Instead of ruling Kannauj, a very important and rich city himself, he made Chakrayudha the king of Kannauj. Chakrayudha was Dharmapala's nominee, someone Dharmapala could control. Why was Kannauj so important? 1. Kannauj was like the crown jewel of northern India. It was rich, powerful, and had a great location for trade and politics. 2. Whoever controlled Kannauj was seen as the most powerful king in northern India. 3. By placing Chakrayudha on the throne, Dharmapala was indirectly controlling Kannauj without ruling it directly. The Grand Assembly at Kannauj, to show his power, Dharmapala organized a huge meeting in Kannauj called an Imperial Assembly. 2. Kings from many regions came to this meeting to show respect to Dharmapala. Who were these kings? The kings who attended the assembly came from many different areas. 1. Poja, central India. 2. Matsya, Rajasthan. 3. Madra, Punjab. 4. Kuru, Haryana region. 5. Yadu, areas near Mathura. 6. Yavana, regions influenced by Greeks or foreign rulers. 7. Avanti, Malwa region in Madhya Pradesh. 8. Gandhara, modern-day Afghanistan and Pakistan. Kira, Himalayan region. What happened in the assembly? 1. Dharmapala declared himself the suzerain overlord of northern India. 2. The other kings bowed their heads to show respect and accepted him as their superior. The consecration ceremony. 1. A special consecration ceremony was held to officially declare Dharmapala as the supreme ruler of northern India. 2. What happened during the ceremony? The elders of Panchala poured sacred water from a golden pitcher over Dharmapala's head. This was a way of saying Dharmapala had the blessings of the gods to rule. 3. The other kings were present and showed their respect during this ceremony. Why was this important? 1. Power without war. Dharmapala didn't have to fight every king. He used diplomacy and ceremonies to show that he was the strongest. 2. Indirect rule. Instead of ruling every region himself, Dharmapala let local kings stay in power, but they had to accept him as their boss. 3. Kannauj as a symbol. By controlling Kannauj through Chakrayudha, Dharmapala became the most important king in northern India. Example to understand this. Let's imagine a classroom. 1. There are many kids, local kings, but one kid, Dharmapala, wants to be the class monitor. 2. Instead of fighting every kid, this kid convinces others to accept him as the leader. 3. He organizes a big event where all the kids come and agree that he is the monitor. To make it official, the teacher, elders of Panchala, gives him a badge, the ceremony. Now he's the leader, but he lets others keep their roles as long as they respect him. Dharmapala's strategy in simple words. He defeated important kings like Indrayudha to show his power. 2. He controlled Kanauj indirectly by placing Chakrayudha on the throne. 3. He gathered other kings in a big meeting and made them accept him as their boss. 4. He held a sacred ceremony to show that he had divine approval to rule. Why Dharmapala was clever? 1. He didn't waste resources by fighting unnecessary wars. 2. He used diplomacy, strategy and ceremonies to establish his power. 3. Controlling Kanauj made him the top ruler in northern India. Let me know if you want this explained in another way or with even more examples. Let's break this down in the simplest way possible so it's super clear. 1. This is about how Dharmapala's empire of the Pala dynasty expanded and controlled many parts of northern India. 2. His empire became very large and stretched across many regions. Which areas were included in Dharmapala's empire? Let's understand the regions step by step. 1. Central Punjab, Madra. This is in the middle part of Punjab in present-day Pakistan. It was one of the important regions in Dharmapala's empire. 2. Sindhu region. This area refers to the Indus River Valley. It is in present-day Pakistan. The Yavanas mentioned here likely refer to Muslim rulers who controlled Sindh or Multan. 3. Gandhara. This was the upper Indus Valley, including parts of modern Afghanistan. It was an ancient, culturally rich region. 4. Kangra Valley, Kira. This is in the Himachal Pradesh area of India, a beautiful and fertile valley in the northwestern Himalayas. 5. East Punjab, Kuru Yadu. Kuru and Yadu were regions in eastern Punjab, modern-day Haryana or near Delhi. These areas were important for trade and farming. 6. Jaipur, Matsya. This refers to the Matsya kingdom, which is in Rajasthan near present-day Jaipur, a desert area but strategically important. 7. Malwa, Avanti. Malwa is in central India, modern-day Madhya Pradesh. It was known for its fertile land and culture. Berar, Boja. This region might refer to Berar, which is in modern-day Maharashtra. It is a part of southern central India. Why is this important? 1. Bengal's rise to power. Before the Pala dynasty, Bengal, eastern India, was not very important in Indian politics. But under the Palas, especially Dharmapala, Bengal became a major empire. It stretched across almost the whole of northern India. 2. From east to west. Dharmapala's empire extended from Bengal in the east to Sindhu in the west, almost the entire northern part of India. Let's visualize this with an example. Imagine India as a big rectangle. 1. Bengal is in the bottom right corner of the rectangle. 2. Dharmapala's empire started here and spread to Punjab in the top left corner, Rajasthan and Gujarat in the middle left, Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir in the top middle, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra in the centre and lower left. This shows that his empire covered nearly all of northern India. How did this happen? 1. Strong leadership. Dharmapala was a smart and ambitious king. He used wars, alliances and diplomacy to expand his power. 2. Kanauj's role. Controlling Kanauj, the central city of northern India, helped Dharmapala gain respect and authority over many other kings. 3. Diverse regions. His empire included mountains, Kangra, deserts, river valleys, Sindhu, Punjab, and fertile plains, Bengal, Malwa. This made his empire rich and powerful. Why is this impressive? 1. Bengal, which wasn't considered a big player before, suddenly became the centre of a huge empire. 2. Dharmapala controlled areas with different languages, cultures and geographies. 3. His empire stretched from the mountains in the north to deserts in the west and plains in the east. Think of a small shop in a small village suddenly becoming the biggest chain of stores in the whole country. That's how Bengal under Dharmapala became powerful, starting from a small region and expanding to dominate northern India. Summary 1. Dharmapala's empire was huge. It stretched across Punjab, Rajasthan, Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, and even touched modern-day Pakistan and Afghanistan. 2. Bengal went from being unimportant to ruling northern India. 3. Dharmapala used a mix of war and diplomacy to achieve this. Let me know if you'd like further details. Let's go through this step in the most detailed and simple way possible so you understand everything clearly. What was happening during this time? It was a time of constant fighting among kings in India. Everyone wanted to be the most powerful king. The city of Kannauj in present-day Uttar Pradesh was very important because controlling it meant you were a strong ruler in North India. Who were the main kings in the story? 1. Nagabhata, from the Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. His father, Vatsaraja, had been defeated by the Rashtrakutas, another powerful dynasty. Nagabhata wanted to restore his family's power and expand his kingdom. 2. Dharmapala, from the Pala dynasty of Bengal, a powerful king who had placed Chakrayudha, his supporter, as the ruler of Kannauj. 3. Chakrayudha, a weak king who ruled Kannauj but was supported by Dharmapala. But what did Nagabhata do? 1. Restoring power. Nagabhata started by rebuilding his kingdom after his father's defeat. He made himself stronger by conquering nearby regions such as Sindhu, modern-day Sindh, Pakistan, Andhra, modern-day Andhra Pradesh, Vidarbha, modern-day Maharashtra, modern-day Odisha. 2. Attacking Kannauj. Once Nagabhata felt strong enough, he attacked Kannauj, where Chakrayudha was ruling. He defeated Chakrayudha, the weak king, supported by Dharmapala. By doing this, Nagabhata showed his power over Kannauj, which was a prized city. 3. Fighting Dharmapala. After defeating Chakrayudha, Nagabhata had to face Dharmapala, who was angry about losing control over Kannauj. The two kings fought a battle, probably at Monga, modern-day Munga, Bihar. Nagabhata won a big victory over Dharmapala. And 4. Expanding his empire. After defeating both Chakrayudha and Dharmapala, Nagabhata kept expanding his kingdom. He conquered many regions, such as Ananta, modern-day Gujarat, Malava, modern-day Madhya Pradesh, Kirata, Himalayan regions, Turushka, northwestern areas, possibly near Afghanistan, Vatsa, modern-day Allahabad region, Matsya, modern-day Rajasthan. What does this mean? 1. Nagabhata's success. Nagabhata proved that he was a strong and capable king. He rebuilt his kingdom, defeated his enemies, and became one of the most powerful rulers in North India. 2. Kannauj's importance. The city of Kannauj was seen as the center of power. Whoever controlled Kannauj was considered a great ruler. 3. Ambition and rivalry. Kings were always trying to outdo each other and expand their kingdoms. Nagabhata showed how determination and strategy could lead to success. An example to understand this. Imagine 3 kids fighting over a prized toy, Kannauj. 1 kid gives the toy to his friend, Chakrayudha, to hold. 2. Another kid comes in, defeats the friend, and takes the toy. 3. Then the first kid, Dharmapala, tries to fight back but loses. 4. After winning, the second kid, not only keeps the toy, but also collects more toys, regions from other kids nearby. Why is this important in history? 1. It shows the tripartite struggle between 3 powerful dynasties, the Gurjara Pratiharas, Nagabhata's dynasty, the Palas, Dharmapala's dynasty, the Rashtrakutas. 2. It highlights how kings like Nagabhata worked hard to rebuild their power after facing defeats. 3. It also shows that Kannauj was a symbol of power and ambition in ancient India. Summary. Nagabhata, a king of the Gurjara Pratihara dynasty, rebuilt his kingdom by conquering nearby regions like Sindhu and Kalinga. He defeated Chakrayudha, the king of Kannauj, and later defeated Dharmapala, who tried to protect Kannauj. After these victories, Nagabhata expanded his empire even further, becoming one of the strongest rulers in North India. Let me know if you'd like more details or examples. Sure, let's break everything down further, making it as simple and detailed as possible, step by step, like explaining to someone with no prior knowledge. Who were the main characters? 1. Nagabhatta, Gurjara Pratihara king, a powerful king in North India, wanted to build a huge empire and control many territories. Earlier, he defeated Dharmapala and Chakrayu to expand his power. 2. Dharmapala, a king from Bengal in East India. He was defeated by Nagabhatta but wanted to regain power. He supported Chakrayuda, a weak king ruling Kannauj. Number 3. Govinda III, Rashtrakuta king, a very strong king from South India, wanted to prove his strength by defeating the North Indian kings. His father Dhruva had earlier fought and won battles in the north. What was happening? Nagabhatta had defeated Dharmapala and Chakrayuda and was ruling many parts of North India. Dharmapala wanted to fight back but needed help. So Dharmapala went to Govinda III, the king of the powerful Rashtrakuta Empire in South India, and asked him for support. What did Govinda III do? 1. Govinda III decided to invade North India. Govinda III saw this as an opportunity to show his strength, just like his father Dhruva had done. He led a huge army to the north to defeat Nagabhatta and other kings. 2. Dharmapala and Chakrayuda supported Govinda III. Dharmapala and Chakrayuda welcomed Govinda III because they needed his help to defeat Nagabhatta. 3. Nagabhatta was defeated. Govinda III's army was very powerful and unstoppable. Nagabhatta, who was earlier strong, couldn't fight Govinda III. He fled in fear and disappeared. No one knew where he went. 4. Govinda III conquered more land. After defeating Nagabhatta, Govinda III marched further north. He even reached the Himalayas, proving his power over a large area. His empire now stretched from Cape southern tip of India to the Himalayas in the north. He might have said something like, "My horse can run from the Himalayas to Cape Comorin without stepping on anyone else's land," meaning he controlled everything in between. What happened to Nagabhatta? Nagabhatta's dream of ruling a huge empire was completely destroyed. He had wanted to follow in his father's footsteps and become a great emperor, but Govinda III ended those plans. What problems did Govinda III face? 1. Internal rebellions in the Rashtrakuta Empire. Even though Govinda III was successful in North India, he faced problems in his own empire. The governor of Lata, southern Gujarat, rebelled against him. This rebellion started in 812 AD, when the governor was replaced by his younger brother. Succession problems. After Govinda III's death, there was a fight over who would become the next king. His son, Amoghavasha, faced opposition from other members of the Rashtrakuta family. These internal problems weakened the Rashtrakuta Empire. Examples to help you understand. Imagine a playground battle. There are 3 groups of kids on a playground. 1. Nagabhatta's group is ruling the playground. 2. Dharmapala's group has been defeated and wants to fight back. 3. Dharmapala asks a bigger, stronger group, Govinda III's group, for help. Govinda III's group comes in, defeats Nagabhatta's group, and takes control of the entire playground. But then, Govinda III's group starts fighting among themselves about who should lead. Because of these internal fights, Govinda III's group becomes weaker. Key points to remember. 1. Govinda III's victory. He defeated Nagabhatta and showed his power in North India. His empire stretched from the Himalayas to Cape Comorin. 2. Nagabhatta's defeat. Nagabhatta's dream of ruling North India was shattered. He fled and lost all his power. 3. Rashtrakuta Empire's problems. After Govinda III's victory, his empire faced rebellions and internal fights. This weakened the Rashtrakutas in the long run. Why is this important in history? This event shows how alliances and rivalries shaped Indian history. Even the strongest kings, like Govinda III, faced challenges, especially from internal problems. The constant battles between the Gurjara Pratiharas, Palas, and Rashtrakutas show how difficult it was to maintain a large empire. If anything is unclear or you want more examples, let me know.